First of all, there's a very large bank in the United States which they're our customers, and we perform pen tests for them on a monthly basis. They use our product. The last time we were there, we found several very interesting things. First of all, we found that PenTera was able to hack their firewalls simply because they were using default passwords instead of changing them. And PenTera just got in and was able to take control of their firewalls, basically opening up the network. This, of course, is to prevent a real hacker or a malicious hacker from hacking them, so luckily we found it beforehand. Another interesting story from that company, from that bank, would be that we found that there was a USB hub, a legacy USB hub, which was installed 6 years ago, connected to a workstation somewhere on some floor, and we were able to hack it, and we found that the cable that was connected to the machine, to the computer, was safe, but the ports in the USB hub were not. So anybody connecting a cable to those ports was basically able to get onto the network and hack it. So that was a very interesting attack vector, which now is of course remediated and we prevented. I think the advantage of PenTera, especially with this customer, with this bank, is that it's able to find things that a manual pen tester might not be able to, simply because of the time and the effort that a human would need to invest in order to find these things. The machine basically is pen testing a large portion of the network, where a manual pen tester focuses on specific vectors. So the scope of the pen test that PenTera performed was very large. Since PenTera is a machine, the speed which it can calculate and perform the correlation of information is so fast that it literally took us, if I remember correctly, less than 3 hours to cover the entire network and find those things. Regarding that USB hub that we found that was vulnerable, I think that the interesting thing is that a manual pen tester would never find it, because they're not looking for those things. You know, they're looking for, let's call it, juicier attack vectors, things that maybe would interest them. A malicious attacker would look for these vectors. The dynamic vulnerabilities, things that happen on the network and are not usually protected by organizations. That's exactly what happened. The organization forgot about it. It was left in some dusty room or somewhere, back office or whatever it was, and no one even remembered that it was connected. Addendum to that story would be that we met the person that installed that hub there, and he remembered that 6 years ago he put it somewhere in that office, back in the side, wherever it was, and he was happy that we found it because he forgot all about it.